I quit VRChat because of how bad alcoholism was.
VRChat has so much more to offer. As my eyes opened, I arose from a pile of people all passed out drunk. Nearly a year ago, I started working on a video about a question. Is there an alcoholic problem in VRChat? I'm now convinced there is, but it's my problem. This is a continuation of that video, so feel free to check out that first if you are interested, but you should be fine without watching it. You may question why I'm making another video about this, especially when there are already dozens of videos about this topic, but this is my story. So stay here, relax, and let me share with you a story that will lead to change for myself and possibly even relate to you. And before we get into it, I want to clarify that I have no problem with people inside or outside of virtual reality drinking alcohol. I feel as long as you do it responsibly and aren't hurting yourself, it's fine. You are enjoying yourself. It's just becoming a bigger problem for me, as it's becoming the only way I hang out and relate to people anymore. I've heard I only started drinking because of VRChat dozens of times. Just please don't forget that even if you do consider this a problem, VRChat has so much more to offer, and there are tons of people and communities that don't drink at all. More about that later. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this topic down in the comments below after the video. Now let's move on. When I started VRChat in October of 2017, I was going through a change in my life. I no longer wanted to go out with people. I questioned the meaning of everything, friendships and all. But it was thanks to VRChat that I was able to meet some truly wonderful people, and that continues to be the case to this day. There was just one thing that always bothered me. Everyone was drinking alcohol. Not literally everyone, but enough to be surrounded by it almost no matter where you go or the time of day. I grew up in life just staying away from these kind of things, mostly from seeing what it did to people around me and even worse. I never dissed on people for it, but it just wasn't my thing. For a while, this led me to stop playing VRChat on the weekends because I knew it would end with friends and those around me drinking. Whether they did it for fun, to socialize, to cope with life, or possibly for many other reasons, they'd all be drinking. This continued to be the case until around the start of 2019, as I'd start drinking myself with people in VRChat. At first it was just once, maybe every few months, but then it turned into every weekend. It was like those weekends never even existed, like I had skipped them. And while I say I enjoyed it back then, I ask myself now, was I even having fun? Am I having fun? I've tried to stop drinking, but I am surrounded by it. I make excuses on why it's okay for me to drink, saying this day is special, or they are drinking so I should as well. I almost feel like I have to get on weekends and drink like it's becoming part of my schedule. However, there was something that happened recently that really hit me hard. We all gathered on a Friday, like any other Friday, and started drinking. It had been hours, but before I knew it, I was on the ground in what felt like no time at all. The last thing I remember is being told, "Good night, Ghosty," by people, and I shouted back that I am not going to sleep. But then I woke up to a scene that really painted a picture. As my eyes opened, I arose from a pile of people all passed out drunk. I looked around to see dozens just spread out across the streets, lying lifelessly on the ground. It hit me. It's becoming that dystopian future you see in books and movies. Everyone is sitting in their own homes, drinking or doing drugs while wearing virtual reality headsets and abusing these things until they pass out. Although they are in their own homes, maybe their beds, visually all I saw was a bunch of people so messed up they passed out on the streets. But, just don't let anything I say, especially the way I word it, influence your answers on stuff and like anything like that. I'm not going for an agenda on this video, you know what I mean? So
yeah, okay, yeah.
So did you all drink before VRChat, or did you start mostly on VRChat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, well before VRChat.
Has VRChat like influenced you to drink more though?
I feel like I had the habit before VRChat, but VRChat definitely complemented that habit and made it more regular, I would say. Rather than like a monthly thing, it became a weekly thing.
Do you guys consider me alcoholic? I'm curious.
No.
Do you drink every weekend?
Pretty much. Every Friday.
Then yes. Yes. I do consider regular alcoholism to be, because it's not an occasion anymore. It's not a special ordeal. It's something that like you get home and you're like, yay, I can get intoxicated.
So how do you guys
I
feel
get
about
you.
like when you hang out with everybody and you're trying to be sober and they're all drunk? How does that make you feel?
This kind of brings about like a darker topic, I would say, a little bit, because if you actually look at people who like recover from substance abuse problems, like significantly bad ones, like worse than what we're experiencing personally, let's say, sadly the answer is in the end in those situations, I'm not saying you should like cut off your friends or stop being friends with people, but like you kind of do have to migrate social groups a little bit, or like figure out which friends you can hang out with while being sober or something like that. Not to say it's like everyone else's fault, but like, you know, it's only human to feel like envious, or like if you actually do have this addiction, it's only natural for you to feel like the urges when you're around people who are partaking. And for me, that's like one of the scariest things when it comes to like quitting something like that, just like losing those social groups.
So I do get temptation around people, but I also find myself very socially awkward around people that have drunk, and those are the people you need to consider too.
Right.
When you are intoxicated, the people that aren't intoxicated, a lot of them have trouble talking to people that are. Like you said, when you're around intoxicated people, while you're sober, you kind of struggle to keep away from it. I was the same, to the point that actually I quit VRChat because of how bad alcoholism was. I was only on a game called Neos because I couldn't make friends without I couldn't make a good friend without talking to someone that would only get drunk on weekends. How many times have you made a friend that has told you, oh yeah, I probably added you when I was drunk, that's why I don't remember you?
Yeah,
More than half of my friends list is that.
Yeah.
I've said that more times than I'd like care to admit.
Yeah,
you know?
me too.
Oh,
But
man.
And
that's
that's a
how
big-
it is. That's how half my
That's
friends
a
list
big
is.
problem.
You know what's so weird
Yeah.
is like just in general, when a Friday hits, I'm like, I have to get on VRChat. I have to. Saturday, I have to get on VRChat. And then like, and it's even more so amplified because it's like no one asked. They just come up to you and say cheers. No one asks if you're drinking that much anymore. Sometimes you have people be like, hey, you drinking tonight? You know, it's become such a routine where like someone comes up and like, yeah, cheers, and I'm like, and I'm not drinking, and they're like, oh, and then you know they scurry away. And well, on a brighter note, with all that, is a perfect example I can think of. Friday night, we got on,
Yeah.
and we did not drink, and instead we gathered everybody that wasn't drinking. I'm sure there were people here and there, but instead we just did what I love about VRChat. We hung out. And we went to Game Worlds and we hung out, and it was just honestly one of the
was great.
best nights in a long while. And
I saw
I
that.
agree, I had a great time.
I saw that. I missed out, but I saw that.
well, there's gonna be more, is what I'm saying, because that's the thing is like, as it
yeah.
seems like a big problem, it's a big problem to us, for the groups that we hang out with, for because it's just everywhere.
Right.
Yes, you can go to public worlds. There will be people drinking. There's other friend groups that drink. But I think like that really proved that Friday night that there's plenty of groups and people out there that just want to have fun and don't want to just be surrounded by drinking. And I think that's what VRChat truly has to offer, is what we just did.
I remember playing like some MMOs when I was a bit younger where we're just on call and we're drinking and shit, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
people do that too. Drunk League.
yeah. I've gotten shit-faced on f***ing RuneScape.
People- yeah, I mean, I've drank while playing Hun Showdown. Like, I mean, but yeah, like, you know, when you're in a physical form like this, I mean, I'm sure people went to town on Second Life and drank alcohol while they hung out on Second Life.
Oh, yeah.
So-
I can't even
Do just want to say this is definitely not a problem because of VR chat. It is a problem because of people, and people will drink no matter where they are. But it's just more accessible in the sense of you can find people to drink. Grab my drink.
Yeah, you.
My alcohol. No, I'm joking. It's a soda. Very funny as shit, dude. Yeah, I'm taking a break.
By the way, I'm drinking a rum and coke.
Is alcoholism something that can be solved in VR chat? No, not exactly anyways. It's not that simple. People are allowed to do whatever they want. If they enjoy drinking and aren't hurting themselves through it, then it's not a problem for them. All you can do is do what you need to do for yourself. My friends aren't going to stop drinking just because I want to, and I don't want a new set of friends. I love my friends and I love those around me. I just don't want my only memories and interactions to be drinking with them. How can I fix my problem? Well, I'm not entirely sure. What I plan on doing is toning it down to drinking on special occasions only. I'm not going to stop drinking completely, to be honest with you. Like I said, I just don't want to spend every weekend drinking and my only distant memories with my friends to be just the times we drink together. I think it's up to us all individually to just take the step to better ourselves in the way we want, the way we think is good. Everyone has something to say about how you should and shouldn't be, but at the end of the day, it's our own choices. If you think drinking is fine, you're all good. Keep doing your thing. If you have a problem, it's up to you to fix it. Only you can. So instead of me just blaming VR chat, blaming everyone else, I'm putting my foot down and taking the step, which is, well, partially why I made this video. I just want to answer some questions that have been asked before, and if you made it this far, consider liking the video and subscribing if you want to see more. The funny question I got last time I did this is people thought we were pretending to be drinking in virtual reality. This made me cringe so hard. I did not take into account those that don't have virtual reality or an understanding of it. No, we are not role-playing being drunk. What people do is they grab themselves a bottle, strap on their VR headset, and drink in real life while hanging out in virtual reality, typically social games like VR chat. This simulates going out with friends and drinking, but in the safety of your own home. Another comment I got was that this problem is bigger than VR chat. You are totally correct. As most topics I talk about on this channel, they do exist in other areas other than gaming and VR, but that doesn't make it not a problem here. In VR chat, you have to remember that there are people all around the world. This means you will find people drinking no matter what time you get on, which if you are easily influenced, chances are you are going to drink alcohol more than if you were out in your daily life. And finally, you might ask why this guy that's using a female avatar is complaining so much about his own problem. Well, this video is for me and you. I feel I express myself best through art, and making videos is art to me. It's something I really enjoy doing. I'm hoping this video gives me the step I need to do something about it, and I hope it can help others or relate to people, if not at least be educational on what's going on inside of virtual reality. Thank you all so much for giving this video a chance. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget that this is not even a fraction of what VR chat and games alike have to offer. It just happened to be the topic of this video. You can check out my other videos to see what VR chat really has to offer. Consider liking and subscribing, as it would mean the world to me. Again, I'd love to hear what you have to say about this topic or what you want to see from me in the future, so leave a comment. Thank you very much to my supporters. You don't need to do it, and I probably should give you guys more than I do, but thank you. Take care of yourselves, everyone. Better days are coming. As always, have a great one.
You know, things happen in life, and even beyond 6 years, I found some people that were, you know, very cool, and just they just meant a lot to me. And these past 6 years have been just awesome. And it's just more than I hate to say community, because I just consider us just a large group of friends that are just enjoying their time. We've done these real life trips and stuff, and I just want you guys to know I really do appreciate every single one of you guys. You guys do mean a lot to me, and yeah, I mean, I'm just excited for what the future holds. It's been a wonderful 6 years. Thank you guys.